Welcome or welcome back to Angry Roads. My cat is about to jump up on the table.
And you'll see tail.
Boy.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Suzanne.
And this is Angry Roads. Where, oh my god.
Go on, Johnson. There we go.
And this is Angry Roads. We're a law channel, and we discuss, at the moment, SCPs.
Yes.
We're doing some in chronological order and some in popularity order, or more like just popular ones to mix it up a little bit so we don't just read it through in chronological order.
Thank you to everyone who's recommended their favourite SCP, both on here and on Reddit. It really helps because I have not read any of these and I think you've only read like a handful of them.
Some, yeah, that's exactly right. So yeah, it really helps when you let us know. And do so below in the comments. Let us know if there's one you'd like us to read or a specific one that you think might be interesting to us.
Yeah.
So with that being said, this is SCP-049, which is the Plague Doctor. I believe this to be a pretty popular one.
Sorry,
yes. It is a popular one with a very high rating, and I've seen a lot of this picture around in the SCP subreddit, so I know it's quite popular.
Right.
So with that being said, let's jump right in. Also, a little bit of a difference to the norm. This one has audio logs.
Yes, which I haven't come across yet.
Yeah, this is the first time with one with audio logs, so we'll be playing those through this as well. So that's it.
Awesome.
Object class 049, item 049, and object class Euclid, which is...
So if we head over to our locked box test, if you lock it in a box, leave it alone, and you're not entirely sure what will happen, then it's probably Euclid.
So, it's probably dangerous.
Yes.
That's my guess.
But we don't quite know how dangerous.
No.
But it also feels like it will choose to be dangerous. It doesn't have to be dangerous.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
All right.
You're up first, I think.
Yes. Okay. Special containment procedures. 049 is contained within a standard secure humanoid containment cell in Research Sector 02 at Site 19. 049 must be sedated before any attempts to transport it.
Okay.
During transport, 049 must be secured within a Class 3 humanoid restriction harness, including a locking collar and extension restraints, and monitored by no fewer than 2 armed guards. While 049 is generally cooperative with most Foundation personnel, outbursts or sudden changes in behaviour are to be met with elevated force. That Euclid.
Yeah.
Under no circumstances should any personnel come into direct contact with 049 during these outbursts. In the event 049 becomes aggressive, the application of lavender has been shown to produce a calming effect on the entity. Once calmed, 049 generally becomes compliant and will return to containment with little resistance. In order to facilitate the ongoing containment of 049, the entity is provided with the corpse of a recently deceased animal, typically a bovine or other large mammal, once every 2 weeks for study. He's not even eating them, he's just
studying
them. Corpses that become instances of 049-2 are to be removed from 049's containment cell and incinerated. 049 is no longer permitted to interact with human subjects, and requests for human subjects are to be denied. So every so often it's like, like maybe...
Just one human.
He's like, look, I'm loving all the pigs that you're giving me, but I just love like a person one just to mix it up.
Yeah, that's it. You say no to that, apparently.
Right.
I'd love to understand which ones, when they become 049-2...
Where's 049-1?
Let's find out.
Fair.
I think.
Fair.
Temporary Containment Procedure Update, see Addendum 049.3. But... per Containment Committee, Order 049-S1917.1, 049 is no longer permitted to interact directly with any members of Foundation staff, nor is it to be provided with any additional corpses to be used in its surgeries. This order shall persist indefinitely until such time a consensus regarding the ongoing containment of 049 can be reached. So, currently, no more bodies.
Not even the pigs.
Something bad happened.
Yes.
I do like... We're getting a description now, but the skull...
Right?
That's very cool.
It is not a...
It's not a plague doctor's mask.
No, it just is a plague doctor face.
It just is that.
Is it a bird?
I don't know.
What's it performing surgeries with?
I don't know.
Did they give it like a little scalpel, like they gave that other one like cooking utensils? Remember when he played the piano?
All right.
I loved him.
Description.
Yes. 049 is a humanoid entity roughly 1.9 meters in height, which bears the appearance of a medieval plague doctor. While 049 appears to be wearing the thick robes and a ceramic mask indicative of that profession, the garments instead seem to have grown out of 049's body over time and are now entirely indistinguishable from whatever form is beneath them. X-rays indicate that despite this, 049 does have a humanoid skeletal structure beneath its outer layer.
Which is what we're looking at there in that picture.
Oh, right, so the
robe is on the outside, but it's still grown from it.
But is the beak...
It's part of its skull.
The beak is part of its skeletal structure.
Yes, correct. It's all... What you can see there is the skeletal structure.
Right.
Should we swap paragraphs? Because this is quite a long one.
Yeah, this one's long, yeah.
Yeah. 049 is capable of speech in a variety of languages, though it tends to prefer English or medieval French.
Sure.
While 049 is generally cordial and cooperative with Foundation staff, it can become especially irritated or at times outright aggressive if it feels that it is in the presence of what it calls the pestilience. Although the exact nature of this pestilence is currently unknown to Foundation researchers, it does seem to be an issue of immense concern to 049.
Right.
Okay.
So if it thinks you are unclean?
Well, yeah, I'm interested to see how this progresses because I have some thoughts already.
049 will become hostile with individuals it sees as being affected by the pestilence, often having to be restrained should it encounter such. If left unchecked, 049 will generally attempt to kill any such individual. 049 is capable of using all biological functions of an organism to cease through direct skin contact.
Causing all biological...
Causing all biological functions to cease. So you touch it...
And then you die.
And you just turn off.
Yeah.
Right. How this occurs is currently unknown, and autopsies of 049's victims have invariably been inconclusive. 049 has expressed frustration or remorse after these killings, indicating that they have done little to kill the pestilence, though will usually seek to then perform a crude study on the corpse using the implements contained within the Black Doctor's bag it carries on its person at all time. While these surgeries are not always successful, they often result in the creation of instances of 049-2.
Okay. So it has a black bag of tools.
Cool.
Yeah.
Brought it with it.
049-2 instances are reanimated corpses that have been operated on by 049.
Hence, we can't give it any more corpses.
Yeah. These instances do not seem to retain any of their prior memories or mental functions, having only basic motor skills and response mechanisms. While these instances are generally inactive, moving very little and in generally ambulatory fashion, they can become extremely aggressive if provoked, or if directed to by 049.
Right.
049-2 instances express active biological functions, though they are vastly different from currently understood humans' physiology. Despite these alterations, 049 often remarks that the subjects have been cured.
So he necromances them? But he's not always successful.
But here's the thing, right? They said very specifically that biological functions of the organism cease through contact. While that sounds like death, maybe it's not.
He just...
He stops them, he pauses them.
Yeah, pause is a good word.
Does a little thing, and then they come back as, like, slavish.
Yeah.
I don't really...
And then he mances them.
Yeah.
Necromances them.
That's it. He somehow forces them to do his bidding.
To dance.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Addendum 049.1 Discovery. 049 was discovered during the investigation of a series of unknown disappearances in the town of Montauban in southern France. During a raid on a local home, investigators found several instances of 049-2 as well as 049. While law enforcement personnel engaged the hostile 049-2 instances, 049 was noted as watching the engagement and taking notes in its journal. After all of the 049-2 instances were dispatched, 049 willingly entered Foundation custody.
Right, so he was down.
Yeah. He was just interested to see what would happen.
Yeah.
The following interview was conducted by Dr. Raymond Hum during the initial investigation.
I really read that as ham.
Hum. I don't know why, but he's German.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, this is our first audio log, so we'll be right back.
I hope he's German.
Alors, comment devrions-nous commencer une introduction?
Is that French? Can we get a translator?
The King's English. No need for translation, sir. I can speak it well enough.
Good. My name is Dr. Raymond Ham, and I...
A doctor. A like-minded individual, no doubt. Wherein is your speciality, sir?
Cryptobiology. Why?
A medical man, such as myself. Wonders abound. And here, I worried I had been abducted by common street thugs. This place, then, this is your laboratory. I had wondered, as clean as it is, and with such little trace of the pestilence here.
The pestilence? What do you mean?
The scourge. The great dying. Come now, you know the... what is it they call it? No matter. The pestilence, yes. It abounds outside these walls, you know. So many have succumbed, and many more will continue to, until such time as a perfect cure can be developed. Fortunately, I am very close. It is my duty in life to rid the world of it, you see. The cure to end all cures.
When you say the great dying, are you talking about the bubonic plague?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I see. Right, well, the entities our agents encountered at the house, they were dead when you encountered them, yes? You reanimated them.
In a manner of speaking, you see things too simply, Doctor. Expand your horizons. Life and death, sickness and health. These are amateur terms for amateur physicians. There is only one ailment that exists in the world of men, and that is the pestilence, and nothing else. Make no mistake, they were very ill. All of them.
You think you cured those people?
Indeed. My cure is most effective.
But the things we recovered were not human.
Yes, well, it is not a perfect cure, but that will come with time, and further experimentation. I have spent a lifetime developing my methods, Dr. Ham, and will spend a lifetime more, if necessary. Now, we have wasted too much time. There is work to do. I will require a laboratory of my own, one where I can continue my research unimpeded. And assistance, of course, though I can provide those on my own. In time.
Oh, I don't think our organization would be willing to...
Nonsense. We are all men of science. Fetch your coat and show me to my quarters, Doctor. Our work begins now.
Wow.
I love the thought that he's like, you could get me some assistance, or I can just make my own. It would just be like a little bit more time consuming, but I can make my own slaves if need be.
So what I was thinking was like, and something that came up now is like, he's using the vernacular of, like, the plague.
Yeah.
But he's obviously talking about some other sickness that we
Yes,
don't
that we
understand
can't see.
yet. We don't perceive yet.
Yes, 100%.
That's
100%.
exactly right. Before we go too far, let's read the interviewer's note.
Yes.
So, Dr. Ham wrote, "While 049 is capable of communicating in a very human way, there is a strange sense of unease that one experiences when in its presence. Make no mistake, there is something very uncanny about this entity indeed. Additionally, we've confiscated that pointed stick that 049 keeps waving around. Part of this was due to standard confiscation protocols for the possession of anomalies, and part because 049 really is a menace swinging it around like he does. The entity was displeased at first, but after we made some concessions in providing it with test subjects, which are admittedly more for the benefit of our own research, it warmed up to the idea."
Okay.
Right, so then,
Addendum 049.2 Observation Log. While in containment at Site 19, 049 has spent a considerable amount of time studying and performing surgery on various mammalian corpses. On the various mammalian corpses it has been provided. 049 will routinely spend several days performing surgery, and then, regardless of whether or not the corpses become an instance of 049-2, spending several more days documenting its findings in a thick leather journal stored within its doctor's bag. 049 will often seek to share its findings with members of Foundation staff. The following is a log of several occasions during which 049 was observed operating on a mammalian corpse.
Observational log 049-OL1. Preface. A test subject, a D-Class 85123, was introduced into 049's containment cell. The entity expressed sincere gratitude towards all members of the containment and research staff. Observation notes. 049 began asking D-Class 85123 several standard medical questions as it began removing tools from its bag. Shortly after finishing its preparations, 049 quickly closed the distance between the two, killing the subject with a touch to its throat.
I forgot that it has that ability.
Yeah. Afterwards, 049 made a number of considerable alterations to the basic structure of the subject's corpse, often introducing fluids from within its bag into the subject by way of a hand-powered pump and copper tubing. Gross. The resulting 049-2 instance became animated, flailing and grasping at the walls of the chamber with a number of manufactured limbs while moaning out of an oblong orifice now present in its sternum. Oh. During this time, 049 was observed taking notes of the instance in its journal and remarking to the watching research staff about the efficacy of its cure. Security personnel entered the chamber to move 049 back to containment and were attacked by the instance. The security team dispatched the 049-2 instance, and 049 returned to containment with no resistance, stating that it was pleased with the results. Could you just be clear?
Yep.
He gave it manufactured limbs?
Yep.
Or it grew them? Because manufactured limbs, I guess it made them. Because he introduced liquids.
Yep. And
then it grew these limbs, and then it grew an oblong orifice out of its sternum. This is the sternum, right?
Yeah.
From here.
Yeah.
It grew a
right.
mouth.
I said that very confidently. Let me.
I'm sure that's the sternum. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
From its chesty area.
Yes.
Okay? That's wild.
And then it was like, perfect.
That was great. Good results.
So part of me, it's like that other SCP that we did with the motherboard, where where she's like, I can fix all of you. I just need to rearrange you a little bit.
Yeah, that's it.
It feels like he just wants to rearrange us a little bit, and then we'll be free of the pestilence. But it feels like the pestilence might be like life itself.
I don't know.
Or our free will is the pestilence.
But the pestilence?
Yeah, that one. What did I say?
Pestilence.
I'm thinking of a pendulum.
Yes.
The pestilence.
Yes.
But how does someone have more of that than someone else?
I don't know.
So,
maybe we'll find out more about the subjects he chooses.
Oh, yeah, touche. Or maybe the people that it does work on it doesn't. Does that mean he's doing the same thing with the pigs?
No, because they're corpses. They're already dead.
But he's bringing them back to life.
Some of them, yeah.
But, like, are they also growing limbs and...
But the question is, how does he decide which ones... Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Sure.
Observational log 049.ol.2 summary. Subject 049. Preface. 049 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased goat. 049 expressed gratitude at the provision. Observational notes. 049 operated on the goat corpse for several days, eventually resulting in an instance of 049-2. 049 expressed pleasure in this outcome, though admitted the disease was still in its
Nascent
stage.
Early stages.
Oh, right.
Or basic stage, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah.
My veterinarian practice is rudimentary, but the patient responded well to the procedure.
So yeah, he does it with goats. Goats.
He's doing it with ghosts.
He's just doing ghosts. Watch out, Caspar.
Why you gotta bring Casper in?
Well, I don't know. He seemed like a happy ghost and
Yeah, that's
something
true.
he doesn't want.
That's fair.
He is the friendly ghost.
He is the friendly ghost.
Okay, observational log 049OL3. Preface. 049 was provided with the corpse of a recently deceased orangutan. 049 expressed gratitude at the provision due to the similarities between the orangutan and the common human physiology. Observation notes. 049 spent several days operating on the orangutan, reanimating it several times.
Oh, so this isn't like a one and done thing. He can bring it
just
to
do
life and then he says, nope.
Nope, not good. However, 049 appeared to be discontent with the results it experienced, returned to the creature 3 times after its initial reanimation for additional work. After it was unable to reanimate the corpse a 5th time, 049 turned the corpse over to Foundation staff for incinerating, stating, "I've learned so much from this, though I fear my early optimism was misplaced. I hadn't yet come across such a stumbling block on my road to the cure. More subjects like this would do a great deal in advancing my research." So monkeys
Kind of
are
interesting.
hard.
Yeah, monkeys are harder
Yeah.
than people. Okay, observational log 049.ol.7.
Oh, well, there's an observational log, I just realised.
Oh, of course. Full. Subject 049. Preface. 049 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased bovine. 049 expressed mild annoyance at the provision, though accepted it nonetheless. Observational notes. 049 spent several days operating on the bovine corpse, breaking only to dine on a requested dinner of thin crackers, salted pork, and hard cheese. Beginning first by embalming the corpse, 049 was observed producing a number of long syringes from its bag. This is like the Harry Potter bag.
It just has everything in there.
Right. Each containing a different dark, viscous fluid. 049 described these fluids as essence of the humours? Okay. And elaborated by saying the pestilence may bring about a systemic imbalance. In such a case, before true healing can begin, one must find the humours in balance or the body will reject the cure. Over the next few days, 049 spent a considerable amount of time adjusting the organs of the bovine corpse with a number of large metal instruments. After 8 days, 049 produced a lightning rod, which Dr. Ham exchanged for an electrical cattle prod attached to an extension cord and struck the corpse in several locations. This action seemingly had the effect of reanimating the bovine, which again became ambulatory despite the inversion of the head and reorientation of its limbs.
So I like the thought, he was like, what I need to do is now get it struck by lightning. And the doctor was like, oh no, we have lightning on a stick now.
Yeah, he's like, if you put this out the window, he's like, no, here, with I like the thought that they're like attached to an extension cord.
Yeah, let me show you.
Oh, I guess that does make sense, right? Because I can always pull the cord.
Yes.
I can't leave you with this cattle prod because I didn't leave you with your waving stick.
Exactly.
That makes sense. I like that.
All right, we have a follow-up interview. Another audio log, so we'll be right back.
We've watched you work for several weeks now, and honestly, I'm not sure I understand what you're doing. Could you describe your process in detail?
Oh, goodness no. The process is most intensive. As I said to your assistant, the best instruction you will find about my methods are here in my journals, as I have kept exhaustive records of my work there.
I see. Well, my concern, Doctor, is that we still don't understand what you're seeking to cure, or how it manifests, or how turning these creatures into quasi-living, mindless drones helps in that effort.
You do not understand the pestilence, even after all this time. Doctor, it is an unspeakable horror, one that has shown its true face many times before, and will again. I find myself blessed with the wisdom and good senses needed to root it out and destroy it. But many, like yourself, cannot. It is a cruel judgment, I fear, to be at the mercy of a disease you cannot fully comprehend.
That still doesn't answer my question. How's your cure any kind of cure at all?
It is a cure. You may laugh at my efforts if you please, but do not besmirch the good name of scientific progress that has developed this great mercy. What you short-sightedly see here is a life better than any this creature could have hoped for. Stricken as it was with the pestilence, this creature is now clean, unable to spread the pestilence, and free from the terror it would have experienced otherwise.
This is hardly a creature at all, Doctor. It's not even...
Do not jape with me, sir. You and your colleagues are like so many others, unable to look past minor setbacks to see the salvation taking place before your very eyes. Do you wait to remove rotten timbers until the whole collapses on top of you? No. You find them and you pull them out and replace them with those untouched by rot. And most of all, you do not simply mock the structure because it now looks different to you. It is strong. It is free of disease.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to agitate you. I'm just trying to understand.
Yes. Well, do mind your words in the future, Doctor. I am a professional, but even professionals may feel the bite of pride in dealing with criticism of their masterpiece. I will forgive this as an act of good faith between colleagues.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that will be all. Another test subject on the usual schedule. You know my preference of subjects with more human anatomies.
So, yeah, it sounds like what it was we were discussing before, which is it's something that we don't quite understand what the problem is. But
and he's like, even though I took that pig's head off, moved around his limbs, and put his head upside down, that is better.
That was a cow.
A cow? No, it was a pig.
Bovine.
Oh, yes, sorry. It is better than what he would have experienced because it had the pestilence.
But this is the thing. This is what I'm not understanding. Because the cow is just...
Is everything that we give you covered in pestilence?
Yeah, somehow. Let's read this note quickly. Attending researcher's note. 049 does seem to genuinely want to help other humans, though it has not yet been able to provide a concrete example of what exactly it is trying to save us all from. I have watched it now over several weeks, and while the outcomes do not seem to ever change, 049 continues to claim that it is growing closer to its perfect cure. I think the entity may be more aware of the reality of these outcomes than it would like us to think. That's what I was... Yeah. It's seeing something that we're not.
Yeah.
Obviously. Or is it just crazy?
It just likes to put things... heads upside down, reanimate them.
Because the cow, granted it was dead.
Yes.
They were all dead. Is that the pestilence?
Well, no, because he killed that other one.
He killed the human.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if... Anyway, I don't know. Let's keep going. Because I feel like we always do this. We speculate too much.
And then we're like...
and then something comes up and we're like, I get it.
He's not going to make macarons, though.
No, he's not making... I hope not. I'm not eating them if he does. Addendum 049.3. This is the 16th of April 2017 incident. Starting shortly after 049's initial containment, Dr. Ham conducted a number of interviews with the subject regarding its anomalous properties, and over time began to note its displeasure with its subjects and the 049-2 instances. This continued for a period of several months, during which 049 never exhibited any aggressive behaviours. On April 16th, 2017, as Dr. Ham was entering 049's test chamber to conduct another routine interview, the entity began to grow anxious and asked Dr. Ham if he was feeling well. Following protocol, Dr. Ham reminded 049 that the interview was required, after which the entity became hostile and attacked Dr. Ham, killing him. Due to a lapse in security protocol, and because Dr. Ham did not activate the in-chamber emergency system, Dr. Ham's corpse was not discovered until 3 hours later, by which point 049 had converted it into an instance of 049-2. In the aftermath of this incident, 049 was interviewed by Dr. Theron Sherman. Another audio log.
Yes.
This one by Dr. Theron Sherman.
Well, yeah, Dr. Ham is...
He's dead.
Yeah. Well...
He reanimated.
Well, he's only had him for like 3 hours, so I don't think he has.
So he did kill him.
He killed him, but everything else took a couple of
But
days.
he said he converted him.
Oh, yes, it said he...
Yeah, it said he converted him.
R.I.P. Dr. Ham.
Rip in pieces.
Rip in pieces? Yeah, fair.
I need you to explain yourself. SCP-049, you are being directed to explain your actions, and I will remind you that failure to cooperate will result in further restrictions during your containment.
My actions do not need to be explained.
You killed Raymond Ham, and then butchered him until he...
Not dead. No, not dead. He is cured.
Cured? Cured of what?
The pestilence, sir. I had thought you, at least, would realize what luck it is. I detected it before.
What pestilence? You keep going on and on about this pestilence, but you have not once been able to properly identify this disease. What could you have possibly seen in him today that you had not seen so many times before, that it would be worth his life?
The pestilence presents and progresses in unforeseeable fashions, and has a queer way of creeping into the unprepared. And call it what you want, Doctor. It was a mercy I did to him. He is cured.
He is a vegetable.
I would not expect you to understand. You and your ilk have proven time and time again not to be men of science, but men of emotion. You cannot appreciate the horrors I have seen. Those many millions who have succumbed to the pestilence and been changed.
Your cure cost Ray his life.
No, good sir, I have saved it. You would allow this world to slip back into the despair of disease and death, ignoring that I have created a miracle. And
what disease? What pestilence? He was a healthy man. He was a good doctor.
I'm offering it freely to the afflicted. You are not worth this argument, sir. You are short-sighted and foolish. Dr. Ham was sick, and I cured him. I am the only one who can do this. My work must continue. There is still so much to learn, so much.
I've had enough of this. Consider your allowances revoked.
Saved, even you.
Welcome to containment, 049.
Might be saved.
We're done here.
I can save them all. I can cast down this plague once and for all. I can do this. Only me. I saved him. Dr. Ham. I cured him. He was sick. I know he was sick. I know he was. And you are all sick, but I can save you. I can save all of you because I am the cure.
Right.
So he sounds just a little bit broken.
Yeah.
Like maybe he has gone through something very traumatic, like he's lived through the bubonic plague.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh my goodness, Johnson.
Johnson is desperate today. It's the most desperate I've seen him in a while. So anyway, that's the incident that caused that addendum where they stopped bringing the corpses.
Yes. It feels like he might just be a little bit broken. Like he's gone through, like he has lived through something traumatic like the bubonic plague, or maybe the Spanish flu or something like that.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there was a minute of like remorse there for a second where he was second guessing himself whether or not he did save him.
Yeah.
But like...
And I think it's just, it's broken him. He's got a little bit of that complex PTSD.
Yeah.
And he's not living in reality. He has this ability to reanimate people and put their heads on upside down.
And let them still walk.
Yes, exactly. And in his mind, that's better, but it's a broken mind. So I guess I do kind of feel sorry for him. He doesn't get enjoyment out of it. He's not Dexter.
Well, he's getting enjoyment in the sense that he thinks that he's
Curing
and helping.
Yes, but he's not a serial killer.
No.
He doesn't enjoy killing
Doesn't
them.
seem like it, no.
No, in his mind, he is doing it for the betterment of mankind.
Yeah. Is he a human, though?
I mean, he's got robes coming out of his skin, so...
And a bird beak.
Yeah, so maybe he's from, like, an alternate reality?
Maybe.
Or an alien? Like how it landed and it was, like, met by tribal people. Maybe this thing landed in the bubonic plague.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand what the fuck is happening, but you all seem to be dying in very gross ways.
Yeah.
Let me put your head upside down.
Let me fix that
That'll
for you.
fix it.
There you go.
Let me show you. Addendum 049.4. Post-incident report interview. The following interview is an excerpt. I don't know why I couldn't read that word. I know that word. From the 16th of April, 2017. Sorry, it's an American, so I have to do that slowly. 049 incident report. The interview was conducted by Elijah Itkin and took place 3 weeks after the start of the initial investigation.
Another audio log. We'll be right back.
SCP-049, we are conducting this interview to close out our investigation of your actions taken on April 16th that resulted in the death of a staff member. Do you have any comments to make? Only that I look forward to the day when you will allow me to resume my work. I have spent the last few weeks compiling my notes and constructing a new theory for how the pestilence was able to infect someone in such an insidious manner that I nearly couldn't detect it. Have you experienced any remorse for your actions? For the death of Dr. Ham? Ah, yes. Well, the death of a colleague is always regrettable. But in the face of the pestilence, we must be swift, Doctor, and act without hesitation. Dr. Sherman noted in his report that you seemed to be mournful during your initial interview. Mourn? Perhaps. I had not thought that. It is lamentable that a fellow doctor became infected, but the work continues. Regrettable as it was, Dr. Ham's death provided important insight. Living human subjects are the only way to proceed forward, I am decided. My cure is of little use on dead flesh, and I have gleaned all I can from your generous supply of corpses. My desires turn towards tending to those still living who suffer from the disease. I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. Oh, Doctor, I wouldn't be so sure.
So here's my assessment of the situation. Me, Dave of Angry Roads.
Yes.
Obviously the most qualified person to assess. I think this sounds like ill communication, right?
Right.
Like there is this entity that knows there's this problem that exists that we have no idea or still haven't developed the ability to assess this issue. His thought is, or the entity's thought is, that it should kill the people who are infected with the thing so that later, when it becomes a bigger problem, there is a cure.
I get you.
It's not that it's not curing it now.
Mm-hmm.
He's working on a cure for a problem that's coming.
He's experimenting so that he
Yes.
can get that cure.
Correct. And this is a break a few eggs to make the omelette situation.
And that's why he's like, I had to kill Dr. Ham. It's unfortunate,
Yeah.
but it's what needed to happen.
Correct.
So that in the future, because I'm the only one that can do this.
Yes.
With my beak.
With my beak.
I'm the only one.
Yeah.
And my Mary Poppins bag, or Harry Potter if that's your fandom, with my magic bag full of lightning rods.
It's called a bag of holding in D&D.
A bag of holding?
Yeah.
Does it have lightning rods in it?
Just can hold whatever.
Perfect. I got my bag of holding, if that's your fandom, and I'm the only one that can do this. So I will kill as many of you as possible.
Or as needed.
Yes.
He's not just going around killing everybody.
No.
And he is taking extensive notes of how they live
Yes.
afterwards, or quote unquote live, I should say.
Yes. The miracle that he performs.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
he's gone through a rough time.
Yes.
And he's just not coping very well. I don't think he is human.
No, it's definitely not human.
Because of, the robe and the beak and the magic bag. I think for me the magic bag is probably the biggest thing.
But that's the last thing that's not even attached to him.
No, but where did he get the magic bag from?
I don't know.
Why are you writing in I was going to say in funny language. Why are you writing in funny language?
In funniness.
Why are you writing such funniness?
Well, I got those humours.
Where'd you get those humors from?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, fair.
And I personally think he's just mentally unwell.
Yeah, it's just he's not human.
No.
That's for sure. Nothing human looks like this.
Yes, but you can get Prozac for a dog.
Yes. Yes. He's got nice eyes though, do you see?
He does have very pretty eyes.
You can see them here as well.
Murderous, but...
They're a little bit cold. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and we completely forgot about the fact that he can just cause
people.
biological functions.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I don't think he's actually doing anything. I think he thinks he's doing something,
Yeah.
and it's not good for the rest of us, and
Well, he's certainly doing something.
not good for the rest of us.
He's certainly reanimating some people. Yeah, anyway, that's very interesting.
Yeah, I like the idea that it's never, like, we'll never know if it is that, he just comes from a time or a realm or a dimension or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he comes from the future and he's like, well, if I go back
Yeah.
and I use all this time to build a cure,
Then I can fix it.
yeah, then that future never has to happen, Steins Gate style.
Then my bird species will live on.
That's it. Maybe this is what we evolved to.
My plague doctor face.
Yeah, well, he won't need a plague doctor face because it won't exist.
Maybe. Will it exist? You tell us. Thanks for watching.
Please like, share, subscribe, and share in any communities that you think would find this interesting. We'd love to hear your take on it. I know this is a very old SCP,
yeah.
but like you said, quite a popular one.
Yes, and to appease the people who are asking, we will jump forward again.
Yes.
To some of the later ones. I'm trying to cherry pick popular ones as we go. So yeah, please share, let us know, and comment down below any that you'd like us to read if you have a favourite.
Or if you have theories on what the fuck he's doing.
Please, let us know. But I think that's it for now. So
Yeah.
until next time,
Bye.
bye.